what's up, guys? It's April 11th, Tuesday afternoon here in Los Angeles. Myself, Fredo, Cervantes, and these are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
These are the breaks.
You know what it is.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these are the breaks with myself, Fredo Cervantes, here on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon, April the 11th. And guess what? It was Fight Night Round 3 on Sunday afternoon as the regular season in the NBA ended. Finally, we don't get to see some really bad basketball when we had to stay tuned and watch the Houston Rockets and the San Antonio Spurs, because those two teams are at the bottom of the league, and that's exactly what they deserve to be. And I hope one of those two teams turn it around. But thank God we don't have to see those teams anymore. Now it's time to pay attention to the 4 teams that made the play-in tournament in the Western Conference and in the Eastern Conference. And of course, before we get to that, there was 2 certain situations, 2 incidents on Sunday afternoon where teammates, not players from one team to another, but teammates, apparently they don't know they're in the same team, started fighting against each other. One threw a punch and one shoved the other. Both of them stood on their feet, surprisingly, because Rudy Gobert, center from the Minnesota Timberwolves, decided to be like, hey, Kyle Anderson, I know you're my teammate, but I'm still going to punch you in the face. And that's exactly what Rudy Gobert did. I don't know if he's maybe stupid enough to realize that he's punching his own teammate, maybe one of the best defensive players you got in your squad, on the last game of the regular season. Come on, Rudy Gobert. But guess what? At that moment right there, the head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves said, you're out. You're fired. Go home. And he literally sent him home at that given moment right there during the middle of the game. Rudy Gobert packed his bags, went home and cried a little bit. After that, he, of course, apologized for the incident, and the Minnesota Timberwolves rewarded him with a 1-game suspension. And guess what? That 1-game suspension comes in the play-in tournament, which is taken down tonight here at the Los Angeles Crypto.com Arena, which is going to be the Lakers and the Wolves. Winner of this game advances to the first round of the playoffs against the Memphis Grizzlies. All right, so winner of tonight takes the 7th seed. Loser faces the winner of tomorrow's game between the Oklahoma City Thunder and the New Orleans Pelicans. All right, so winner of that 2 on Wednesday face the loser of tonight's ball game. So it's going to be a very interesting game. But let's go ahead and talk about that first game that I'm talking about right now, guys, because I want to touch base on the Los Angeles Lakers, which, of course, I've been touching base on the Lakers for I don't know how long. But one of the things that I don't know if I want to take a seat and lay back for a second, but I do want to say that I want to give some credit to Darvin Ham. And that might be like whoa, Fredo, what are you doing? I thought you didn't like the man, but I do. I do. I respect him. Got to respect him. I still don't like him that much, but I got to respect him. But what I like what Darvin Ham did was finally really, I don't know. I saw LeBron James in the last few games ever since he came back from injury. I saw LeBron James be a different type of player. I saw him being more of a, hey, take the passenger seat. I saw a little bit of that. At times, you saw a guy like D'Angelo Russell taking that extra shot. I saw Austin Reeves playing amazing, out of his mind. Man, give that man that contract right now. But Austin Reeves has been another man who stepped up. But Darvin Ham is the man in charge. He's the one driving the bus. So he drove the bus the right direction over the last 3-4 weeks here in the NBA regular season. So for him to put the Lakers in the situation they are right now, it is a shock. No one, not even myself, maybe you watching right now are like, yeah, I didn't really see the Lakers go where they're going right now. They're one of the hottest teams in the NBA right now. Nobody wants to face him. Nobody. Not even Rudy Gobert. That's why he's at home. He's scared of LeBron. He's scared of AD. He's not going to get punched, but Kyle Anderson is still going to be on the team, but another team, not another team, another guy. This guy is maybe dumber than Rudy Gobert. I'm talking about Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels during halftime yesterday. So check this out. Jaden McDaniels is the starting forward for the Minnesota Timberwolves. This young guy here is so upset. I have no idea why he's upset. Maybe because Rudy Gobert is punching his other teammate. But as he was heading into the locker room, he punched the wall from being upset. I don't know what he was upset about, but he punched the wall and he broke his freaking hand. I mean, how can you just go about that moment and realize that you are the best defensive player, wing defender for the Wolves? You're about to face LeBron James and these guys, and you go out there and break your freaking hand? Are you serious, Jaden McDaniels? I mean, that is the clown of the week. I mean, now you're down 2 players if you're the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now you're down 2 starters heading to Los Angeles to face one of the hottest teams. I'm sorry, Minnesota. Start packing your bags as you may be going to New Orleans on Friday night to go ahead and face them, because I know that New Orleans is going to take down the Oklahoma City Thunder on Wednesday night. And that's the other game that we're having here between the 9th seed and the 10th seed in the Western Conference. So looking at what the Pelicans have, they have no Zion Williamson. They are without Zion, hopefully for the next few weeks. If they make some sort of run late in the playoffs, they might get Zion back. But with Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum, what they've been capable of doing with that squad, it is impressive. And shout out to Willie Green, a young head coach in the league. Young head coach. I believe this is his 2nd season. And Willie Green has done a remarkable job. I love what he's done out there. And in order to keep this team above water, above the Dallas Mavericks, because the Dallas Mavericks is the other team that, holy moly, what the happened to them? Like, what happened to the Dallas Mavericks? I don't even know what it is, but the Pelicans will be facing on the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's my prediction for Friday, and hopefully within that team, it's not a bad matchup. Those are 2 good teams, but Rudy Gobert might be back by Friday night. If he's not punching another teammate out there in the streets, he should be back, and hopefully, they can beat down on the Pelicans on Friday night. But that's what's going down in the Western Conference. We're going to go ahead and take a little quick break. When we come back, I'm going to touch base on the Eastern Conference, all right? The Eastern Conference, and as well, I do want to let you know about the Clippers and the Suns. Those 2 teams are going to be facing each other off in the first round. I'm going to touch a little bit on that when we return here on These Are the Breaks.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
Yes, that is right. These are the breaks with myself, Fredo here again. And, I kind of gave you guys a little bit of background on what happened over the weekend. But there was another incident that happened over the weekend, another shoving incident. In this case, it was with the Los Angeles Clippers. Yes, that is right. The Clippers, who were playing the Phoenix Suns in Phoenix, During the game, another altercation between two teammates, which was Mason Plumlee and Bones Highland. Mr. Bones here decided to tell Mr. Mason Plumlee that maybe he should grab some rebounds. And guess what Mason Plumlee said? Hey, how about you grab a rebound and give them a nice little shove? Nice little love shove that now both of them said, hey, this is something that got to happen during the game and we're over it. So that situation should be a little much better. No one got suspended. No one got fined. No one started crying. Rudy Gobert, in the other case, he threw a punch, barely even made contact, and started crying, got ejected, and got sent home. And now he's suspended for a game. But the Phoenix Suns are going to be facing the Los Angeles Clippers with Game 1 starting next Sunday. You know, it's going to be in Phoenix, Game 1 and 2 in Phoenix. What can we expect in that series? Yes, we know for now that Paul George will be out for the first round of the playoffs. That means that if the Los Angeles Clippers, one way or another, find a miracle to beat on the Phoenix Suns, which I believe it is a long shot, a very long shot to beat the Phoenix Suns, because Kevin Durant, Chris Paul, Devin Booker, and Mr. DeAndre Ayton are currently undefeated. Undefeated. They are 8-0 as a quadruple trio. They are undefeated. There is no way that Kawhi Leonard and maybe Russell Westbrook put together with the other guys around the squad have a chance in beating the Phoenix Suns. No way. No way. And I love the Clippers. I think this year I've had a little more respect, especially since they acquired Russell Westbrook. They gave that man an opportunity to go out there and perform the way he has been over the past few weeks, and really has showed out that maybe it wasn't the Lakers the problem that was happening with Russell Westbrook. Maybe it wasn't the Lakers, and it's not the team. It was a coaching job, because Ty Lue just got Russell Westbrook, put his arms around him, and Russell Westbrook started shooting 6 for 6 from 3. When have we seen Russell Westbrook shoot 6 from 3? When? Not even his MVP year did we see Russell Westbrook do that. But now Ty Lue grabbed him. He has him in the little nest like a little baby. And now it seems like Ty Lue is depending a lot more now on Russell Westbrook. Yeah, Westbrook averaged 16, 7, and 7. Now you need about 24, 7, and 8 coming from Russell Westbrook and Kawhi Leonard to go ahead and help out and even have a chance. I see the Clippers getting swept. That's what I see. I see the Clippers getting swept. I don't see them overcoming one game against Kevin Durant and that quadruple people, because they're undefeated right now. I've seen every game that Kevin Durant has played this season with the Suns, undefeated. There's no way you can beat that team. But we do have another interesting one. This is something very interesting, and everyone got to keep their eyes out on this series right here. You got to keep an eye out on the Cleveland Cavaliers and the New York Knicks. You know why? Because Cleveland has been arguably the better team out of both coming into the playoffs right now. Clearly, we see that they got Donovan Mitchell, they got the Mobley brothers, they got Sexton and whatnot. So, and Darius Garland, who's been amazing, all-star and whatnot. But with that team right there, they are a little too young. I think they are a little too young, where you see the New York Knicks really at times beating teams like the Boston Celtics, beating Milwaukee, beating Miami, tossing Atlanta up and down. And, you know, they did beat on the Lakers a few weeks ago as well. So New York can really upset Cleveland. Cleveland thinks they are a top 3 team, which arguably, statistically wise, they are a top 3 team. But New York, I think, has the edge on them. They got a guy like Julius Randle. I love Brunson. Brunson has been a guy who can really put up 20 and 10. When you have any guy out there that can at times give you more than 20, give you 25, 28, 30 at times. But when you have guys and guards like that, and RJ Barrett, a Dookie guy as well, you got some good, talented ball players. And they just added Josh Hart. Ever since they added Josh Hart, they've only lost 1 game, I believe. And that's been almost 2 months already. So the New York Knicks are pretty damn good. And luckily they got, they got a very, very interesting team to go ahead and take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. But there's other 2 teams that are kind of trying to fight their way into the Eastern Conference, and that is the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks, the Miami Heat, who are going to be in the play-in tournament right now. They are going to be starting as well tonight. Tonight we got the Bulls. We got the Bulls and the Raptors. Bulls and Raptors tonight in Toronto, which is only a few hours away from tip-off, but I kind of see the Bulls upsetting the Toronto Raptors. When you look at DeMar DeRozan, you have an Alex Caruso, and you have Nikola Vucevic. You have a good, solid team. You got a good chemistry within that team. We saw the Chicago Bulls, and as well, you got to add in Patrick Beverley, who they beat down on the Lakers about a week and a half ago. That was one of their only losses they've had in the last few weeks for the Lakers. Chicago's no joke, and for DeMar DeRozan to go back to Toronto where he started it all, he might be feeling some sort of like, okay, I'm going to come into Toronto and I'm going to beat that ass. That's maybe what he's thinking, because they traded him for Kawhi Leonard a few years ago, and we recall that. They traded him for Kawhi Leonard. They believe that Kawhi was a lot better, which we know he's a lot better, but DeRozan can stay healthy. Kawhi hasn't been healthy for, 2016, 2015. He's always been getting hurt, even when he was in San Antonio. I think DeMar DeRozan's going to go into Toronto. He's going to give them a nice 35-piece, and they're going to come out with the win and upset the Toronto Raptors. I think that's what Chicago's going to do. But the other team that we're looking at as well is the Hawks and the Heat. The Atlanta Hawks fired their coach about a month ago. They fired their coach heading almost into the playoffs. Any team to do that is got to have some big balls to fire your coach about a few weeks before the season ending. I mean, you had the DeJounte Murray and you had Trae Young. You had and you have John Collins as well. When you're Atlanta and you had that type of team and you hire Quinn Snyder, a former coach for the Utah Jazz, you hire that man, you bring him within the season, and now you're going into the play-in tournament to face the Miami Heat, a team that's been kind of up and down all season long, due to injuries. But then you got someone like Jimmy Butler, you got Bam Adebayo, you got Tyler Hero, and they're no joke. A few years ago, they were in the NBA Finals. The Lakers did take them down in the NBA bubble. So they've been producing in the past few years. They just cannot seem to get over that hump. And I think they're going to beat down on the Atlanta Hawks. They're going to beat down on the Hawks, and hopefully we get a matchup to see the Bulls and the Heat. That would be very, very, very good. But when we come back, I'm going to touch base on what's left over in the sports world today, because it is Tuesday, early in the week. And guess what? It's Taco Tuesday. Go get some tacos today wherever you're at. We'll be back here.
Profanity Nation. A podcast for the fans, by the fans. Dive deep into the topics the other shows miss. Raw and uncensored.
And he's going to play team ball. His legacy is at stake.
Rare, hard-hitting interviews with players, coaches, and you, the super fans.
I'm not hating. I'm like, okay, cool. Good.
3 championships in 5 years. He's more than good, bro.
Profanity Nation. Listen live or subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Powered by Jesse Brown of Keller Williams.
United One Protection Services. With over 30 years of experience, United One Protection Services has more expertise and knowledge than the other security companies combined. Residential, commercial, municipal, or institutional, United One Protection Services does more than just security. We protect your livelihood. United One Protection Services.
Yes, that is right. These are the breaks with myself, Fredo, here on this beautiful Tuesday afternoon. And guess what? We got a little bit of NFL news. Yes, finally, it's been kind of quiet in the NFL world, and I understand it's all about basketball right now. But when we got a big name like Odell Beckham Jr. finally deciding on a freaking team, it took years, months, days, hours, minutes, seconds. And finally, Odell Beckham decided to sign with the Baltimore Ravens. And guess who decided to bring him over? It was the one and only Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson said that him and Odell have been talking for the past few days and weeks and finally decided that, hey, you know what? You come over to Baltimore, I'll be happy. I'll stay here for another year. Yeah, after you got franchise tag and now you're obligated to stay in Baltimore and play, you definitely don't want to play alone. And that's why he brought a friend like Odell who can really help him out. But how much can he help him out? That's the question because, yes, the name, it's a big name. The injury, it's much bigger than the name. When you tear your Achilles and you haven't played football for almost 15 months, and then by the time the season starts, it's going to be almost 2 years, that you're out of the league by that point. In football, it's all about timing. It's about health because you're going to be getting hit. You're going to be tweaking your ankle. It's not going to be the same Odell Beckham that we're going to get in Baltimore this season coming up. It's not going to be the same. Odell Beckham Jr. can give you maybe 500, maybe 700 receiving yards. He's not that guy that's going to give you 1,000 yards somewhere. And that's what the Baltimore Ravens need in this case. They need someone like that. And Lamar Jackson is hoping to get someone like that. But you're not going to get that type of guy. You're not. And with that being said, Baltimore just got a little scarier. I don't know how scary they're going to be because you still got Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. You got Pittsburgh that got pretty good this year. The New York Jets right across the street from you guys. Aaron Rodgers is there now. Well, not there, but he's hoping, he said. He's like, hey, I want to be a Jet. He might be a Jet, but not yet. But you got some good teams. You got Miami and you got Kansas City. You got the Chargers. You got a lot of teams in the AFC. So it's going to be very interesting. But you know what's also going to be very interesting is if you guys stay tuned and tune in on Thursday afternoon and watch the next episode of The Breaks with Mike Cal Matthew. And then if you tune in next Tuesday, you're going to get me again. And if you tune into Monday Night Fredo, you also get me. If you tune into Profanity Nation on Sunday night, you're going to get some more Laker basketball talk. And of course, Laker basketball is only going to get interesting tonight. Let's see what the Lakers get a chance to go ahead and do at the Crypto.com arena. Tip off on TNT tonight. Let's go.